Hey there, and welcome to Retirement Reimagined. I'm Tiffany Nyiri, Senior Living Specialist, and this is the podcast where we flip the script on senior living. Whether you're a retiree ready to take on a new adventure or just curious about how to make the most of your golden years, you're in the right place. Join me and our amazing expert guests as we dive into everything from hitting the road in an RV, getting your financial ducks in a row, exploring the perks of a reverse mortgage, or just figuring out how to link that smartphone to your car. We're here to inspire, inform, and give you practical tips to live your best retired life. So buckle up, tune in, and let's reimagine what retirement can truly be. Welcome to Retirement Reimagined. We have a very special guest here who also has a radio show, and we are going to welcome Valerie Van De Zilver, and that is with a Z. So anyone that needs to look her up and find her socials, things like that, we're going to have it all linked below. So don't worry about that spelling. We'll have it for you. Valerie, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure being here with you today.
We are going to talk about everything senior and real estate. Valerie comes to us with many years of real estate and lending knowledge, so that she can be a well-rounded person to help our seniors, 62 plus, 55 plus, whatever you want to give the definition of a senior.
Well, I think that's it's interesting because someone asked me a few weeks ago, at what age is someone old?
Oh,
and my answer was there's no age.
There is no age.
No age.
Yeah. It's funny, and I'm going to say this, my dad's 70 something, and he still calls, he's like, that old guy? I'm like, Dad, you're that old
guy. No, he's not old if he's in his 70s.
So we joke about it all the time because we, in our business, in my business for sure, we talk about seniors and trusts and dying and our heirs. That is very open conversation that we have in our family and our business. So some people are uncomfortable, and that's our daily conversation.
Yes, it is sometimes.
Yes, it is. So Valerie, tell us where you are in your senior, what do we call it? Oh my goodness. You're definitely here to help seniors, age in place, the challenges,
yes.
What we have to face as far as downsizing. Take us through a journey that you've had recently.
Oh, thank you so much for asking. One thing that we've discovered and become more aware of the last few years is that people, although they're older, they don't want to be considered old, number one. And number two is that doesn't mean that they want to move and be treated like they're old. As of now, there's over 11,000 people a day that are becoming 65. Oh. And in just a few years, there'll be more people over 65 in the world than there are under 18. So our demographic population is certainly changing. And because of that, part of that also is because people are living longer. And certainly when when my mom was the age I am, I thought that she was just ancient. But my mom just turned 106 last week. Ooh. So I have no reason to believe that I'm not going to be old and live longer. So we've learned that people expect to be treated differently. I'm considered a senior, but I'm also the adult child of an aging parent. I'm the sandwich generation. I'm a baby boomer, and I'm a caregiver. I'm all of those things at the same time. So life has changed so much. So going through this process with people sometimes is going through it with their children who are my age, who still have aging parents.
Wow.
My doctor, for example, goes to Greece every summer. And this summer he didn't go. And I said, well, why aren't you going this summer? He said, because we're staying home to take care of my mom. Well, he is almost retirement age, and he still, like me, has a mom. So going through this process is so multifaceted. And a lot of times the adult children of aging parents like me are much more involved in the process. It used to be that the parents were doing things themselves, that we talked to them about retiring. and they made their own decisions. But now a lot of the adult children, as I'm sure you found in your business, are involved in this process also. So a lot of it, as you've known, as you've learned, is talking to the children as much as it is the adults. But then the problem is, Tiffany, is that the adults don't want anybody telling them what to do, right? They still want to be respected as being able to run their own lives.
Yes.
So the process is, and recently we helped a family who needed to downsize and declutter and all those things, move into another area closer out to where you're located, and we did a reverse purchase so they could buy a house without having to make a house payment anymore. They have to pay their taxes, of course, but without the exact payment on their mortgage. So I would say that my process really is helping people more with the transition and helping them determine whether they can age in place at their current home, whether they age in place somewhere else. So many things. How can we help them be safe and happy and all the things that are considered with aging in place?
And keep their dignity.
Keep their dignity and their respect.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I just had a call from some adult children. Thankfully, they're Team Bonnie, which is the mom, and she got scammed out of a lot of money, and she did not have trust in herself anymore, and she was just scared of everything. She was just scared to pay a bill, scared to go online, scared to do anything, scared to answer her phone, because that's how the scammer got her.
Oh, yes.
Went to the bank 3 times and took out money.
Oh,
yeah.
so
And
sad.
this was just 2 months ago.
Oh, so sad.
Yes, poor thing. So luckily she's got her daughters helping her through this. We're making it happen, and she's getting her dignity back, and she's slowly recovering from a very traumatic thing that could happen to anybody, because the words that these bad people say on the phone could scare anybody.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just say, hang up the phone. Hang up the phone.
And then some of them have a person who actually goes to the house and says, I'm here to get money so I can get your grandson out of prison, right?
Yep.
Out of jail.
Very scary.
It's very scary.
Very scary. So let's see. We've got a couple things that we want to talk about today.
All right, let's do that.
Now, we hit on a little bit of aging in place, which is downsizing. However, with aging in place comes so many things. Customized aging, so to speak, as far as doorways, health and safety issues. Can I get in the bathtub? Can I get in the shower? Can I walk down my driveway and get my mail? These are things I know that you pay attention to, but we need others to know about it as well, so that they can age in place.
But age in place doesn't have to be in their own house. It could be even if they're in an assisted living community or wherever that they are living with their families or whatever. So yes, some things that are really important to aging in place is their health, their household, their transportation, their finances, and also is their sociality, is being involved with other people. We don't want them to be home by themselves and be lonely. And all of those 5 main things are the things that we consider when we're thinking about how can we best help someone age in place or age gracefully, all of those things. And some things are as simple as, we of course want to make sure that they're safe in their home. So things like taking up rugs so that they don't, I'm certainly bad one with that. I love rugs, but that you just, we have to take them off.
Feet do not love rugs.
We have to take them up. And then things like, it's possible now to buy little ramps, even just to get in the shower. And now you can find them at Home Depot, different places. So if you don't have a formal ramp at your front door, you can get these small, almost like we'd call them a portable ramp. Or you can get one for your front door. You can get one for getting from the garage to the house. You can get one into your shower. So consider ramps as something that's much more feasible and easy to do.
Yes.
And lighting, of course, is very, very, very important. What we call task lighting. So lighting is wherever you have a task to do. So that would be in your kitchen, underneath the cabinets.
Mm.
But, and so many places where now, of course, you can have lighting that's motion sensor. So when someone walks through, the lights go on.
Yes.
So many different things that you can do. And so
Yes.
there's several main things that you can do in a home to make it safe and easy to stay in it for longer.
Yes, yes. The lighting, we did just put some motion lighting all over my mom's house, my mother-in-law's house. So you walk down the hallway, it's kind of like bing, bing, bing. When you walk down, it's just lit up, but it's very cool and it's strategic because if you don't want to pop a light on or those light switches at the very end, in some houses maybe that are a little bit older and don't have light switches everywhere, it's fantastic.
And that's so true. And also, you can have light switches or switch plates that have lighting in them. So you don't have to have a big, bold, bright light that goes on. You can have something very subtle and soft in the light switch itself, the switch plate that goes on the wall where you can have lighting there.
So many cool things
So many things. And, so many things are being invented now that are really cool. So much technology. There's a whole category that's called age tech. And age tech is things that are related to older people, either their living or their safety or their entertainment or their transportation. But so many cool things.
I might have to do a whole podcast on that. Ooh,
we should. I'd be glad to talk about that. Age tech is a whole category.
That's a
and
whole
just some really, really cool things.
Okay. Yes, I've highlighted that on my notes. Okay. Now you have a radio show called Always Ageless.
We do.
Yes. And I listened to a few nuggets that you had on there with some very knowledgeable people.
Okay.
And we talk about ageism as well. So do you want to hit on a couple different things? We can hit on the radio show first.
Sure. What would you like to know about the radio show?
Okay, obviously it is towards our seniors, and you interview people that are in the senior world, kind of like I do. Anyone that touches on seniors, I want to talk to them. The idea of getting the word out to our adult children, I think, is huge. Our caregivers, huge. I talk to so many people that think they can do it, want to do it, but they're not good at it.
No.
You can't talk to a person with dementia and you can't say, "Don't you remember me?" Well, that's just not nice because they don't remember you. So there are tips and tricks, and I think that would be probably a whole other podcast that we do. I think I talked to Dr. Loya. Dr. Loya. Yes. And she goes all into that. She's wrote many, many books to help people as well. So if you are a caregiver and you're new to it, let me know. I will send you a book to help you.
Yes. But I think that it's important to talk about caregiving, as we used to think that caregivers were someone that come to the house and help them bathe or shower and feed them and all those things. That people only needed a caregiver if they were in that stage where they're unable to care for themselves. But caregivers now are us, family members. We are unpaid caregivers, and the dynamic of unpaid caregivers is huge. It's a huge effect on the economy, on employers. How many people like us? I happen to be self-employed, so it's easier for me. But how many people like us leave the workplace because we have to take mom or dad to the doctor? Or how many times do we take a phone call? I always answer the phone when my mom calls, because now I don't know if she needs me. Did she fall? Is she hurt? Did she get herself to the ER? Did she call the ambulance? Right. So we always have to be, we have become the caregivers. We never thought we would be, but we are. So caregivers now is the adult children, the family members, and sometimes it's because we can't afford to pay for caregiving.
Yes.
Sometimes we move them in with us, and we have what we call, you and I discussed offline, multi-gen housing,
Mm.
right? Where we have multi-gen housing, more than one family in a home together. And we actually are doing workshops in employers now about what can you do to save money and save time because you don't have your employees taking time off to be caregivers. There's still a need for the caregiving, but what else can you do to eliminate some of those interruptions?
Mm. Yes, yes, because I know if I had to take off work, I'm self-employed as well. If I had to call a boss and say, "Hey, I've got to go do this,"
Mm-hmm.
that would be a few times a month.
Yeah, absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely.
Mm.
And it's a big problem, and we feel the guilt. You don't want to say my mom's not important to me. Of course my mom's important to me, and for some people literally they need to do it because they can't afford to have somebody else do it. But it's a big challenge. Caregiving is a big, I hate to say a big problem because we love our parents and so forth, but it is a big challenge.
It's a big challenge, and it, it is being talked about more, thankfully. And there are more
It is,
people.
but part of that's because of is the necessity. So I have a friend whose husband had to leave his job and move to Pennsylvania or somewhere to take care of his mom.
Wow,
And when she passed away, then he got to come back home.
wow.
Another one of my colleagues who I interviewed on our show had to quit his job. His wife worked. He left his job to take care of his dad. So it's a big issue.
Yes, yes, big issue. So interesting that you're going to employers to talk about and have a workshop about this.
Mhm.
That is
Mhm.
forward thinking.
Mhm. Yeah,
Beautiful, beautiful. And then of course, multi-gen housing is very popular right now.
it is.
Building
It is.
ADUs.
Building ADUs, auxiliary dwelling units. Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And those are, it used to be that the requirements for having what we would call a granny flat were much more stringent than they are now. You had to have a much bigger lot, you had to have all these things. And now the state of California, especially, is making it easy because they want to increase the number of housing units. But in fact, for us, we're using it as multi-gen housing.
Yes, yes. And I've already told my dad and my mom, I said, I'll build one in the backyard. I have room. I just don't have $200,000 to do it with.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yes. So we
Mhm.
have a plan. But so ageism, what would you define that as?
Ageism, actually, ageism, in my opinion, is is a word that's very misunderstood, and as such is not often, let me say, respected.
Mm,
Ageism, even calling someone a senior, is ageism.
mm,
The silver tsunami is ageism. Um, Talking to someone as though they are old is ageism. Calling someone elderly is ageism. Technically, we are all humans. Now, I can be an older adult,
mm.
right? But I can be solo aging,
Oh,
okay? There's a book was written by a lady who's a professor in Stanford in here in California, and it's called Stage Not Age, and everyone should read it. The idea is that I can be my age and not be old or elderly, and someone else can be my age and be very old. And we need to respect people by the stage that they're in, not by their age.
mm,
I read an article about something that happened to a person. It was a tragedy, and they described her as an elderly woman.
mm.
So of course, I was anxious to see how old was this person, right? She was 72. And in the news article, they categorized her as an elderly person. Really? So she, my opinion, was far from elderly. And that's ageism.
Mm.
So ageism is how you treat someone, how you respect them, how you plan their living situation. Can you do task lighting, for example? Can you make their home safe? Can you make it easy for them to live there without treating them like they're old?
Mm.
And I was in a group last week with some people that you know, and Sam Craddock, has a group called um, the Living Room, has a saying that they're human always, that we're always human, and we should be respected and loved as always being human. And what age you are is really irrelevant, right? The stage that you're in is what's relevant. So be very careful. And people would say, well, they're seniors, they're elderly, they're whatever. All those really are terms of ageism.
Mm. Yes. Yes. Interesting, because you made my mind think, and that's always good. Even someone um, in the senior space, the older adult space, if I'm being correct.
Yes.
I did not think some of the words I was choosing would be considered ageism.
Yes. Well, we all were probably unaware.
Unaware is I'm going to say majority of our population.
Is unaware.
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
unaware. I don't want to be called elderly. I'm not elderly. But
Elderly,
according to that newspaper article, if I got hit by a car today, I would have been reported as an elderly person. I don't think I'm elderly. So we need to be respectful and think of them as human. They're always human,
Mhm.
always human. And then they need to be treated and respected as such. Because even if someone is older and they are having to make life decisions and housing decisions, they have the right to be treated with respect and to have their opinions considered.
Oh yeah.
Just because someone turns 65 doesn't mean that you can become their boss. It doesn't make them stupid. It doesn't make them incapable of making decisions or doing things. It doesn't mean that you can come into my house and take over my finances because you think I just became old.
Mm.
And when you think about that, about how hurtful it must be
Mm.
to people who are older to be treated like they're old,
Yeah.
because they're always human,
Yeah.
and we all should be treated and treat each other that way.
Yes. And
My mom's 106. If she didn't have a bad knee, there's nothing wrong with her.
wow.
And she should be treated like she is a human and be respected.
Absolutely. Because she's not in the stage that she can't care for herself.
No. And even if she is, and she needs some help with
Mhm.
caregiving,
Mhm.
some things I can't do, someone to come in the home and, whatever, right? In bathing or whatever.
Mhm.
She's still a human. She still
Yes.
deserves to be respected.
Yes. Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. I think that is a good time for us to wrap. I appreciate everything that you do for our older adults.
Thank you so much.
And do you want to leave us with a little tidbit or something for us to carry with us today?
Certainly. And that would be just to be kind, to always be kind, always be respectful, and remember that those people they don't want to be a bother. They don't want to be in the way.
Mm.
They don't want to feel bad. They don't want their kids to not want to be around them anymore. And they're just as sad that they're the age they are as we are. So just be kind. Always be kind to people.
Thank
But
you,
don't do it
Valerie.
just because they're old, but just because they're older.
Because they're
Treat them
humans,
as aging
and we should
adults,
be
not
kind
as
to
though
our
they're old.
humans. Yes, we should be kind to each other. And there's a lot going on, and people are not very kind these days. So if we can spread some kindness today, please do.
That would be great. That would be great. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for asking me these questions. It's very important.
Thank you, Valerie. All right, everyone. If you need information about Miss Valerie, it's going to be below. And thank you all for listening. We appreciate your time.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Retirement Reimagined. I hope today's episode gave you some great tips to elevate your retirement. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you found our discussion helpful, please leave a review. It helps others find the podcast too. Curious about how to unlock new financial opportunities in retirement? I'd love to chat and explore how we can make your golden years even brighter. Until next time, I'm Tiffany Nyiri. Keep reimagining.